see them on our shelves in England all the time, and these are exactly the same. These actually contain the dye red 40, which causes hives, migraine, low blood pressure. These have over 25 ingredients in America. In England, we only have 7 ingredients in ours.
All right, so I've been over this many times, but just because an ingredient is banned in a specific country does not mean that it is unsafe at the amounts in foods. Different regulatory frameworks come to different conclusions. Now, the US and the EU have very similar regulatory frameworks, but they come to different conclusions on the same ingredients sometimes. A lot of times, people saying that specific dyes are banned in Europe is just false information. Red number 40 is not banned in Europe. In fact, when we talk about food dyes, there are actually more approved food dyes in Europe than in the US. And I've talked about that before as well. And again, different regulatory frameworks come to different conclusions on the same ingredients sometimes. Partially hydrogenated oils are fully banned in the US. They are restricted in EU, but they are not banned in EU. That is just one example of it going the other way. And yes, there are specific ingredients that are banned in the US that are approved in EU and vice versa. Again, because different regulatory frameworks come to different conclusions on the same ingredients sometimes. I just wanted to highlight this particular part of this video because a lot of these people making these videos on TikTok aren't even verifying very easily verifiable information. She had an actual box of the oatmeal she was talking about, claiming that it contained red 40, claiming that it contains over 25 ingredients. This is the ingredient deck on that box that she was holding. There is no red 40, and there are 5 ingredients. That is what is happening with these videos. People are repeating what other people are saying in videos, or they're finding a random blog and they're just regurgitating the information without doing anything to fact check it first. All of these arguments that people are presenting are false arguments. Just because an ingredient is banned in a particular country does not mean that it is unsafe at amounts in foods. If this did have over 25 ingredients and a version in another country had fewer ingredients, that doesn't mean that the one with fewer ingredients is safer or healthier. If a product in one country has an artificial color and in another country the same product has a natural color, that does not mean the one with the natural color is necessarily safer or healthier. That is simply the appeal to nature fallacy. These are all false arguments that spread misinformation, disinformation, and cause unnecessary fears regarding foods. I appreciate the concern people have when they hear these things or they read a blog saying these things, but you have to understand how the different food regulations are between different countries and the nuances of that, and also how to evaluate safety studies regarding an ingredient and apply that to actual doses in foods. This just distracts from real issues within the food system in the US, and yes, there are definitely issues. Things like access to food. There are many Americans that are food insecure, literally don't have access to a grocery store or don't have enough money to buy certain things, don't have reliable transportation to get to a grocery store. So again, I appreciate the concern, but the concern is misplaced and could be on actual things like social determinants of health, food access, healthcare, all these things that do have a lot of issues in the US. And in fact, these videos just create another issue, which is unnecessarily demonizing accessible foods. So now imagine having food access issues and the foods that you do have access to, you're being told everywhere on TikTok that they are toxic and they are harmful and they are killing you. So not only is the information false, but it is creating unnecessary fear regarding more accessible foods as well.